Hello friends, welcome back to Sapima tutorial. We want to continue our lessons on quadratic equation, but today we are considering sum and product of roots and then roots of quadratic equation. These are two different things, but most times they confuse students, all right? So I will tell you the difference between the both of them and how to approach it. We have a question on the board to demystify it, all right? Before we continue, please click the follow button, follow my Facebook page, or the subscription button to follow me on YouTube. And do not hesitate to share my contents to your friends. Thanks a lot. Find equations whose sum and product of roots are respectively minus 5 and 6, and then 3 over 2 and minus 5 over 2. Then we also have find the equation whose roots are, all right, in this case, we have the roots of the equation. In the first case, we have the sum and the product of roots. They are two different things. To solve this, take note of the formula that says x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equal to 0. Remember that the coefficient of x is our sum and the constant is our product, all right? So to solve this first problem here, we are only going to substitute our factors in the formula. Let us solve A first. My sum, which is alpha plus beta, recall I say sum and product. So to handle sum, we say alpha plus beta, this is addition, sum, is equal to, sum and products are minus 5 and 6 respectively. That means the first one is my sum, okay? So I'll have it as minus 5. Then alpha beta represents product, which is the second term, 6. I will have 6. So I will have alpha plus beta minus 5, alpha beta 6. The next thing I'll do is to put these two factors in this equation, and that is all. All right, so I'll have x squared minus my sum, alpha plus beta, is minus 5. Minus 5, then put your x, plus alpha beta is 6. I will have 6 to be equal to 0. Then let us open the brackets. I will have x squared minus times minus will give me plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0 equal to 0. So this is the equation whose sum and products are minus 5 and 6 respectively. This is all. Let's solve the second one to help you understand better. Using the same formula, the first thing I will do is to extract my sum. Then secondly, I will extract my product. Now my sum is always the first one because we are told that sum and product respectively. So the first one is sum, second one is product. So I'll have here as 3 over 2 and this one as negative 5 over 2. Then put it in this formula. I will have x squared minus, open the bracket, my sum is the first one, 3 over 2, put your x, plus your product, my product here is minus 5 over 2. I will have minus 5 over 2, close your brackets, equal to 0. Then let us open the brackets. I will have x squared minus 3 over 2x plus times minus will give me minus 5 over 2 equal to 0. This becomes the quadratic equation whose sum and products are these two numbers here. But don't leave your answer like this. We have to remove the fractions. Now to remove the fractions, use the denominator, the LCM of the denominator, and multiply all through. Now the LCM of 2 and 2 is 2. So put it outside. 2 times x squared will give me 2x squared. Then 2 times minus 3 over 2x will give me minus 3x. 2 times here will give me minus 5 equal to 0. Of course, 2 will cancel 2. I have only 3. 2 will cancel 2. I have only 5. Or you can multiply the way you understand. So this becomes my answer. All right. I believe you have understood how to solve sum and products of rule. All you need to do is to recall this formula at all the time. Just carry these two guys and put here and here. That's all. You multiply. But then let us solve number 2 question. In this case, we are given the roots of quadratic equation. But meanwhile, we are still going to be making use of this formula. So let us recall it. X squared minus alpha plus beta plus alpha beta equal to 0. But in this second case, we are given the roots of the quadratic equation and not the sum and product. So the roots, alpha represents the first root, beta represents the second root. Now we are given minus 3 and minus 2. So alpha will represent minus 3 and minus 2. Take note of the difference between the first and the second. The first, the whole coefficient of x here will be equal to the first one, then this one will be for the second one. But in this case, we separate it. Alpha is the first one when you are given the roots of the equation. Now the next thing we do is to put these two guys everywhere we see it in this formula. So I'll have x squared minus alpha is minus 3 plus beta is minus 2. Put x here, don't forget x plus alpha beta means multiplication. So I'll have minus 3 times minus 2 equal to 0. Then let's multiply everywhere. X squared minus 3 plus minus 2 is minus 5. Minus 5 times minus here will give me plus. So I'll have plus 5x. Then here, minus 3 times minus 2 will give me plus 6 equal to 0. So this is the equation whose roots are minus 3 and 2. This is the first one. Let's solve the second one. All right, the first thing I'll do is to extract my alpha and beta. My alpha is 0.5, and then my beta is equal to 0.4. Then carry it and put into your formula. But before we put it into the formula, let's change it into a fraction. 0.5 is same as 1 over 2. 0.4 is same as 2 over 5. So I'll be working with these fractions instead of the decimals. So putting them in the formula, recall this formula. I will have x squared minus, open a bracket, my alpha is 1 over 2 plus my beta is 2 over 5. Close your bracket and put x plus, then the next I'll have is alpha beta. That means 1 over 2 times 2 over 5 equal to 0. Then let's operate. I'll have x squared. Let us add these two numbers. 1 over 2 plus 2 over 5 will give me 9 over 10. You can learn how to add fractions. Just learn how to add fractions by LCM. Don't forget your x plus 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10 equal to 0. Then let us eliminate the fraction. How do we do that? Find the LCM of 10 and 10, which is also 10. Use it and multiply everywhere. 10 times x squared will give me 10x squared. 10 times 9 over 10 will give me 9. So 9x plus 10 times 2 over 10 will give me 2 equal to 0. So this becomes the equation that owns these two factors. All right, I believe you have discovered the difference between solving the sum and products and solving the roots of a quadratic equation. Thank you so much for coming on board. Please do not forget to subscribe to my page and like my videos. Do not forget to share it to your friends. Thank you. We'll see you in the next class. Bye.